I don't know if you guys noticed this, but you probably hadn't till now. When you look down at the front, see how this fender kind of sags down a little bit? I'm going to work on that with the heat gun and see if I can bend it back up to be level and flush with this other side at the same time I'm trying to work out those scratches. But I'll probably just run it right along here with the heat gun and then pry up on it a little bit just to see if we can get it stand up there a little bit easier. And actually it looks like it's also flexing back here, so that might be where the problem is. I might need to heat it up right here and pull it back tight. Actually that looks like it. So that's where I'm going to focus the heat, pull it up and let it cool and see what happens. All right, so what I did is I kind of propped it up with this wood right here. Now I'm going to hit it with the heat gun along this seam and see what we can get to happen. Not trying to melt anything, I just kind of want to heat it up so it gets and becomes pliable again, and hopefully that'll kind of let it settle back into the shape that it's supposed to be. That whole seam right there just kind of looks like where it really had that stress. You can tell from that lighter coloring it's on the plastics. That's where it's kind of bent a little too far. I feel like this is going to work. I'm feeling pretty good about this. Tell you what, this little heat gun is the best little investment that I've ever made. I don't know how many times I've used it. All sorts of stuff. Best at removing the decals from like auto glass or tint from windows and all sorts of stuff. Anywhere where you need a little bit of heat to be applied. Looks like that whole section through there's been heated up to where I'm happy with it. All that white kind of disappeared, so I know it's getting hot enough to melt and bend and move and do what we need it to. Hopefully it works. Well, I kind of worked on it a little bit with the heat gun, and I think it's turning out pretty nice in comparison to the other side. Now I went ahead and put this 2x4 and this little piece of scrap wood underneath the fender to pry up on that edge over there. Okay, and then I heated up back here and let it bend back into place. Now once that was done, I went ahead and removed this out of the way, and then I focused on this section right here a little bit to try and help bend it up flat again. And well, this is the finished product. I think it turned out great. So it just needed to heat up that plastic a little bit, bend it back into the right direction and let it cool. And yeah, that turned out great. So if you have a piece of bent plastic on a quad, if it's a fender or something like that, bust out the heat gun, see where it's binding up, heat it up, bend it out, let it cool. God, it doesn't get much easier than that.